You know, it's quite refreshing to be in a room with so much energy in it. You know, people can be so cynical about politics and politicians, but you know, just to be in this room, to feel the buzz, to feel the energy, really. You know, I think this really indicates that this is, I think, significant that all of us in this room, we want to see change. And all of us are here because we believe that change can happen, and that we're not powerless, really, as individuals. You know, all of us, we love this city. I was born here, I love this city, and that's why we're really here, because we want to see this city really achieve the potential that has been squandered for the last 30 years. You know, as Kevin mentioned, the most important and most valuable asset that we have in this city is our young people. Not only are we a young city, we are one of the youngest cities in Europe. We are the future, but if it's handled by the right people. For the last 30 years, we've been tired of the excuses, of the lies, of the self-serving individuals who have been running this city. But most importantly, I've seen in the last 20 years in this city a systematic failure when it comes to young people. Whether it's in the education system, our education authority in the lowest 5% in the whole of the UK. Now look, as a city which has so, and I see it working with young people every day, the potential that is squandered because of people's self-serving agendas. There is no future for Bradford unless those people who are leading it and showing the way value the most important asset that we have in the city. And I ask, and look, I've written papers on this subject about the complicity that was taking place in this city between the local authority and elected members. Gatekeepers on the inside and gatekeepers on the outside. Two groups of mafiosa holding us all to ransom and procrastinating in the lives of our young people. And then when we compare that to the drug problem, for the last 20 years we've brushed it under the carpet. We've been in complete denial of the reality of the drug problem in Bradford. I want to see how proactive a politician's been in terms of addressing the drug issue in Bradford. Now we have almost endemic issues with regards to drug misuse and drug supply. When we look at a 300% increase in the number of people, young people from the city, 300% increase in terms of the criminal justice system. We've got to ask a big question to the elected members in this city who have been representing this city. What have they been doing proactively to address this issue? So we're tired of the lies, we're tired of the excuses, we're tired of the kind of procrastination that's taken place. As I said, in terms of the failure, not only is this a city, and you know, yesterday I was at City Park. Was there anyone else at City Park yesterday? Do you know what? I would say that represented the spirit of Bradford. And it's a spirit of unity, black, white, working class people, united together because they love this city. Again, the elected members in this city have allowed this city, in the last 10 years, 20 years, to be labelled as a problem. They're the ones who allowed this city to be labelled as the most segregated city in the country. I didn't see it yesterday. And this is all about changing the paradigm, changing the record. We need people who actually believe in what this city's potential is. And therefore are prepared to invest in what this city has. This is not a city of terrorists, it's not a city of drug dealers, this is not a city which is a city segregated. No, rather this is a city of people who genuinely are committed to the future of this city. And we want elected leaders who represent that, who show that, and represent the people of Bradford and can define that new future for the next 30, 50 years. We're all, many of us in this room. Okay, I don't know if we're going to be around in 50 years' time. I know the people who will be around in 50 years' time. And they are our youngest in this room. They are our legacy and they are our future. The elected members who we've had for the last 20 years have completely failed that group of people. I'm not prepared to give that most valuable asset that we have to another group of criminals. Because it is criminality. I don't want to take much more time except just to say, look, youth unemployment, discrimination within the city. Okay, you know, look, for a young person growing up here, for the opportunity for them to get a job outside of Bradford, leave alone within Bradford, look at it. These are the big challenges. The employment, the economic crisis that we have, the future of our young people. This is the enormous challenge that we have. And we need people who can actually embrace and deal with that particular challenge.
Think of taking away jobs.
Okay. The final point I want to make is this. Do you know, and this is a bit of admission, you know, you might start throwing tomatoes. You know, I've never voted in a general election. This is the first election that I'm going to vote in. in the general election. Do you know why? I've never believed in any politician to really want to vote in that politician. And also, I've listened to... But also, a lot of the time, I wasn't registered, so voter registration is so important. Well, guys, not now, for the next 2 years' time, get everyone registered. Get out there. You know what? It's so good to be in a room where young people are energized by politics. Who says that, you know, and I think this is reflective of a global change that's taken place. I just pray and I hope all of us united, black, white, all races, all colours, all backgrounds, united with one objective. That's the future of this city that we love and we believe in. Thank you very much. I
Friends, colleagues, neighbours, respected elders, peace be with you. Assalamu alaikum. When I get invited to do stuff like this, I ask, why am I being asked? Because it should be you people standing up here and sharing your experiences and your life stories with the rest of us, because we all have a story to tell. But for today, I just wanted to share with you a very old story which reflects where we're heading in Bradford. And this was a story from the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who said that there was a boat, a ship. There was a ship with 2 decks. And the people on the upper deck, they had everything. They had fresh air, they had fresh water, they had food supplies and fresh fruit, and they had this fresh breeze off the sea. The people on the lower deck, they had very little. They had a bit of light coming through the grills, maybe a bit of fresh air coming through there, but no fresh water. And they kept pleading and begging and asking, can you share what you have? Can you give us some of that water that you've got? We're dying of thirst down here. There's no fresh air. Can you let us up, away from this darkness? And the people at the top, the ones who had everything, kept saying, no, we're better off up here. We don't need you. Why should we share with you? That's your lot. You stay there. We're happy. We're doing fine. But the people kept begging and imploring, please, will you share what you have? We're struggling down here. And people at the top said, no. So what did the people below deck do? They drilled a hole at the bottom of the ship to try to get to the water, and the whole ship sank. And that's what's happening in Bradford. The people that we have put in charge of this great city have destroyed this. They've lined their pockets. I've seen this over the last 20 or 30 years that I've been here, tramping the streets, talking to people, working in the community. I've worked in Bradford Council, I've worked in the local NHS, I've worked at the University of Bradford. I've got nearly 25 years experience in the community as a volunteer with various projects. And all I've seen is betrayal. And every year for the last 10 years I've asked my father, Dad, who are you voting for this year? And every year it's been, son, Labour. 5 years ago, Dad, who are you voting? Sultan, Labour. I asked my father, why? He said, when I came here to work in the mills, the people that spoke for me and had my voice, or were my voice, were Labour. I'm a labourer, they're Labour. Makes sense to me. I vote for them. They speak on my behalf, I vote for them. Last year, Father, please, change your mind. We had a bit of an argument, doesn't happen very often. My father said, no son, Labour. This year, 2 days ago, my father read the story about Muhammad Abu Bakr Rauf, my brother, my comrade, my friend, who passed away on Tuesday afternoon. My father read the story and said, son, do you think George has got a chance? He didn't look at me though, he was eating his roti and salad and his patties, and I was standing behind him. I said, son, do you think George has got a chance? I said, Father, even if it's got the smallest chance, you have to do something. We've got to change the city, we've got to do something. We can't allow another day to pass. And he nodded. He still didn't look at me. And he said, this year, son, me, your mum and your 2 brothers are going to go and vote George Galloway. If this city can grow people like Abu Bakr, it can grow many more leaders. That's right. This is Abu Bakr's daughter Arabia, who was 1 year old 2 days after he passed away. And we need to make the change now. Tomorrow's going to be too late. We need to turn the ship around. We need to share the resources. We need to have compassion. The values that people of Bradford have always had, but have been taken away from us. We look at our so-called leaders, and all we see is greed and selfishness. We just bring those values back. So I'm just going to round off and finish by saying, look, we need to have hope, and we need to get the soul back into Bradford, and that soul will come from all of us with some support and guidance and leadership, because that's one thing missing in Bradford, leadership from George Galloway. Now we can imagine what's great.